fans, welcome to day one of the Cricket Wireless SWAC Basketball Virtual Media Day. Today's production is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Smile, you're on Cricket. The United States Air Force. Join us and take your dreams to new heights. Coca-Cola, together tastes better. And Academy Sports and Outdoors. Get the gear in here to have fun out there. Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the SWAC. Be sure to follow us on social media at The SWAC, on Twitter and Instagram, and the Southwestern Athletic Conference on Facebook. And now, time for the Cricket Wireless State of the Conference with your host, Sekou Smith.
Welcome into the Cricket Wireless Basketball Virtual Media Days for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. I'm Sekou Smith. And joining me here today is the commissioner of the SWAC, Dr. Charles Mcclellan. Good afternoon, Dr. Mcclellan. How are you doing, sir?
Doing very well, Sekou, and thank you for taking time out and joining us within the Southwestern Athletic Conference Cricket Wireless Media Day.
Now, first and foremost, I would imagine that athletic department officials all across the country are excited about the opportunity to get back into the playing portion of this sports season. For you, I'm sure it's been difficult just navigating the do's and don'ts during a global pandemic with COVID-19, specifically doing what it's done to schools around the country. For the return to play protocols and scheduling, what went into that, and how did you guys determine how to go forward with that as a conference?
A very long, drawn-out process, Sekou. Before I answer that question, I would first like to say thank you to Cricket Wireless. They have been synonymous with the Southwestern Athletic Conference ever since I've been commissioner. We signed a multi-year deal. Cricket Wireless is the sponsor of this event, and it will be the sponsor, the title sponsor of all of our major SWAC events. So hats off to Cricket Wireless, and we're looking forward to a long, valuable relationship. As it determined that we were going to move forward with our basketball season, health and safety continued to be paramount. When you start looking at the things that we had to put together, it really started back in the month of August when we postponed football and said that we were going to continue to move forward with basketball. We've been in constant communication with the NCAA Chief Medical Advisor, Dr. Brian Hayline. He has been in constant contact with representatives from the CDC, and they've been able to merge their documents So the first document that we utilized was the resocialization plan for collegiate athletics that was sent to us by the NCAA. And it talked about things of testing 3 times a week, wearing masks, and how to put together these athletic events. We actually put together a COVID-19 advisory panel within the Southwestern Athletic Conference, which was made up of individuals across the spectrum, medical advisors, trainers, doctors, coaches, all across the board, to say this is going to be in conjunction with what we receive from the CDC and the NCAA. This is going to be the SWAC footprint and blueprint. Simultaneously, we put together even a 4th document, and that is the return to play document for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And one specific thing that we put in that document that's a little bit different than what you see from the CDC and the NCAA is that we are mandating that we test prior to every contest. So in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, specifically in conference play, we play Saturday and we play Monday. And at the end of the season, we actually have a Saturday, a Monday, and a Thursday. Well, our protocol is going to ensure that we test prior to each of those competitions and that you have a negative test. So when you play somewhere on Saturday, you'll get opportunity to travel either that Saturday or that Sunday. Sometime between Monday, 5 p.m., you must have tested, and those results have to be in no later than 12 noon or sometime around that particular time. There's some flexibility in the timing on Monday. So we want to make sure that our student athletes are safe. We want to make sure that they're healthy. And it's not just student athletes. It's going to be coaches. It's going to be officials. So we also are developing, and we will have finalized our plan about bench decorum. What happens on the bench? We're going to mandate that everyone is in mask. Coaches are in mask. Student athletes obviously won't have to be. But if you're not a game participant, we're going to ask that you wear masks. So there's going to be an additional document and additional guidance that'll come out, and we're going to be fluid. As things change, we're going to be able to change. And the last thing that I want to point to specifically is the type of testing. We're going to have a combination of PCR testing and rapid antigen testing. So PCR testing can be done prior to, because as you know, that takes between 24 and 72 hours. But we have the ability for rapid antigen, which is less than an hour. So those game day tests will obviously be rapid antigen tests. So there'll still be ongoing protocols, and we will advise and revise as the process goes. But that is what we're looking at to keep our health and safety of student athlete, coaches, and participants at the highest priority.
I know that the 2021 and 22 conference basketball expansion will include Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman. How does that change the landscape for the conference in terms of competition?
Excellent question, and it changes the landscape significantly. You're going from 10-member institutions to 12. Just from a mathematical standpoint, if you take 12 institutions time home and away, that's 24 games. And that's actually 4 more than ultimately you can play. We've made a determination within the Southwestern Athletic Conference that we're going to stay with our 18-game format. And ultimately what that means is that everyone will get an opportunity to play each other. But there will be some teams that you will play twice, and there will be some teams that you will play once. And we're going to kind of rotate that around as the years go by. So although basketball is not divisional, the thought process is that you would play the teams that are closest to you, which essentially are teams that are within your division twice, and then cross over, then you would play those teams once, but there will be multiple teams that you would play twice. Ultimately, we wanted to adhere to rivalry. So for example, with Alcorn moving to the Western Division, we wanted to make sure that they had opportunity to play Jackson State home and away, and play Mississippi Valley State home and away. We're about 95% completed with that basketball schedule, but we wanted to, one, maintain the health and safety of our student athletes, meaning that we did not want to crisscross, across the southeastern and southwestern United States. We wanted to limit to that as much as possible. And we also wanted to maintain the rivalries that were so synonymous within the Southwestern Conference. So you're going to see a different basketball model, but at the same time, we're going to stay with the 18-game schedule, and we're going to deliver to the fans the games that they ultimately want to see.
I know you keep a ton on your plate, with all you have going on at SWAC, and you're suited and booted as usual, clean as ever. But you probably need a hard hat and some boots on when you add all those responsibilities into what also entails you serving on the NCAA Division I men's basketball committee and preparations for that, and the 2021 NCAA tournament, which of course will be making up for not having one this past season. I'd imagine that there's a lot of heavy lifting going on in that lane as well.
Absolutely, and that's been one of the highlights of my career. Now that the meetings have been virtual, we've met every 2 weeks, ever since August, trying to get prepared for the 2021 tournament. And I can tell you, Sekou, a surreal feeling being in the selection room and having to stop because of COVID-19. You work your entire professional career to get into a room such as the selection committee, and you have to pause. A very surreal feeling to have to vote to stop the tournament. You know what implications that has, not only nationally, but from a global standpoint. And you use that as fuel to be able to ensure that you make the 21 NCAA basketball championship that much better and that much greater, because we did not get an opportunity to experience in 2020. But again, I had a 5-year appointment, year one in the middle of COVID-19, year two in the middle of COVID-19. So these are unprecedented times. I'm excited and I'm humbled to be in the room and being a part of the 10 individuals that are on the committee that have been tasked to navigating through this, along with Danny Gavin and Joanne Scott and a countless amount of others at the NCAA and on the basketball staff to guide the membership through this. You're talking about an NCAA tournament that's synonymous with March Madness and all that is right with college basketball. And I'm just humbled to be one of 10 that sit on that committee to have some influence in a positive direction of taking the NCAA basketball tournament. So I'm excited. I'm excited for basketball season to get started. I'm excited for SWAC basketball. I'm excited about the SWAC basketball prospects that we have, new coaches that we have coming in the league this year. Is going to be exciting, both on the men and the women's side. And hey, SWAC is just beginning. We have a lot more in store.
Thank you, Dr. Charles Mcclellan, SWAC Commissioner, joining the show on the Cricket Wireless SWAC Virtual Media Days. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Commissioner, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, and go SWAC.
Hey, did you know in the 1800s ketchup was medicine?
Did you know cricket has nationwide 5G?
Wow, that's surprising.
But true.
And now I also know that in the 19th century, you would have been a picture of health.
Surprising but true. Cricket has nationwide 5G.
We are the SWAC. Our heritage lifts us to great heights, because my history is forged by trailblazers. That motivates me today to focus on my future. We are the SWAC. We are the new trailblazers. And this is my heritage. And now time for our predicted order of finish, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. And now time for our predicted order of finish, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
The future waits for no one, so we refuse to wait for it. We're not just pilots and engineers. We are pioneers. Today, battles are waged in nanoseconds. Planes are piloted from the other side of the world. We turn night into day and fly missions in space. The future's not coming. It's already here. This is the future. Join us and be the future.
The Southwestern Athletic Conference would like to send a special thanks to our corporate sponsors, Cricket Wireless, United States Air Force, Coca-Cola, and Academy Sports and Outdoors. And now time for our SWAC team previews presented by United States Air Force.